In this video, we're going to go ahead and start some basic HTML training, and I came across this w3schools.com website. I really like it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use it. When I talk about HTML, HTML is the language behind all of our web pages. So behind the scenes, this is the layout language that allows us to create a web page. So HTML is a markup language, right? It stands for Hypertext Markup Language. A markup language is a set of markup tags, and HTML documents are described by HTML tags. Each HTML tag describes different document context. What you don't realize is when you use something like Microsoft Word and you hit your tab key or change your font or do some kind of formatting, there are markup tags that you don't see behind the scenes that are used by Microsoft. Well, here are the markup tags that we use to create a web page. Now here's a simple document, a sample. You can see the doc type, which tells the browser what kind of HTML you're using. This says we're using HTML5. And here's a basic layout of an HTML page. All HTML documents have an opening HTML and a closing. That's a forward slash, by the way. We have a head section and a closing head. And within the head we have a title and a closing title. And this says page title. This will be displayed at the top of our browser. Then we have a body section and a closing body that controls all the content of your web page. And we have two little tags, a heading 1 tag and a P tag. Now if you want to see what this really looks like, you click try it. You can see the code over here, and when you click run, this is really what would be displayed in your browser. So this code on the left gives you this code here, or gives you this output on the right. It's really pretty cool. If I were to change the H1 to an H4 and run it, you can kind of see the immediate impact that it has. Okay, so let's go ahead back to where we were. And I really love the explanation here. Line by line, the doc type declares or defines the document to be an HTML5. Yes, there are different kinds of doc types and different versions of HTML, and it says the text between the HTML and the closing HTML describes the document. The text between the head and the closing head provides information about the document. The text between title and closing title provides title for the document. It'll be at the top of your browser. Body to close body describes the visible page content. Okay, the H1 and closing H1 describes a heading, and the P and the closing P describes a paragraph. Now HTML tags, these are called tags, an opening tag and a closing tag, and that's a forward slash. HTML tags come in pairs, like P and a closing P. Okay, now a browser is something that displays an HTML document, and the browsers that you would probably use would be Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, or Safari. Okay, the browser doesn't display the tags, but displays the content. It shows us how to display the document. And finally, every HTML page structure is kind of set up like this. You can see your HTML and your closing HTML. You can see your head and closing head, your title and closing title. Then a body and closing body, and then you can see the actual content in here. An H1 and closing H1, a P, closing P, and another P and closing P. Okay, so that's sort of a basic structure. Okay, the doc type declaration represents the document type and helps the browser figure out exactly what kind of HTML it's dealing with. It's only going to be displayed one time at the top of your document. And we're going to use the simple HTML5, which is, you can see here, and it can be either uppercase or lowercase.